And for those running the Boston Marathon, the conditions were not ideal, but thousands of runners braved today's cold and rain for the 122nd running of the marathon. As our Chandler Walsh explains, spectators and runners alike say extra layers are key for today.
Streets were filled with water, and the crowd at the start of the Boston Marathon was smaller than usual. The Boston Athletic Association says it's likely their coldest marathon start in 30 years.
Can't feel my fingers already.
Some were still willing to brave the outdoors to support the runners in Hopkinton.
It's so cold and so rainy, you can see that there's hardly anybody that's come out to cheer the runners on, so we figured we better come here and cheer loud.
Runners were out in the conditions for hours. Many had their own ways to try to stay warm and dry.
I'm just bundling up as much as possible. We're told to just shed our layers as we go on.
We get some really fancy duct tape on the shoes. I guess it helps to keep some of the moisture out of the shoes.
Sutton's Karen Thibodeau says training in the hills of her hometown prepared her for the race route. To prepare for the weather, she's relying on a lucky outfit.
The race that I actually qualified for to be here today was the exact same conditions. So I wore exactly what I wore that day.
Some area runners spent hours outside training over the winter. They say it's a silver lining. Today hasn't been the coldest day they've run this year.
Us not being used to many good days around here until late April is definitely going to help us.
And spectators who were out in the rain say it's the least they could do to bring a little sunshine for those running.
This isn't any kind of risk compared to what they're doing, I mean, they're chilled to the bone and have 26 miles to go.
And again, runners are wearing extra layers to cope with the weather. Layers shed throughout the 26.2 miles will be collected and donated after the race. In Hopkinton, Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.